everyone to the P.O.W.E.R Awards Gala, where tonight we will welcome and recognize successful women of different industries and professions. We owe this all to our founder and organizer of the event, Mrs. Tanya DiCosimo, for bringing us all together as one powerful organization. Hi, this is Brooklyn's own Joe Causey from CBS FM 101.1 in New York, and we all hope you have the best time ever tonight with all this great food, great dancing, raffles, even a few surprises, and being amongst some very amazing people as well. Congratulations to all our recipients tonight and to each and every one of you for attending. Thanks so much.
Welcome, everyone. Good evening. We have beautiful weather. Thank you, Mother Nature. I would like to welcome everyone to our P.O.W.E.R Awards Gala and thank you for being here this evening to celebrate all these amazing and empowering women in the mansion tonight. For those of you who don't know, P.O.W.E.R stands for Professional Organization of Women of Excellence Recognized. Our organization features and highlights celebrities, A-listers, and everyday, hard-working women in all industries and professions on a national.
Gail King from Looking to Make a Difference with Gail. I'm here tonight at the mansion in Oyster Bay. What an incredible evening. And what is it all about? It's about the P.O.W.E.R Gala, who's honoring so many incredible women. In fact, in a few minutes, we're going to meet the head of P.O.W.E.R magazine, Tonya DiCosimo. And here is Tonya DiCosimo. Tonya, entrepreneur. You have been a host. You have been interviews, written a book, and now P.O.W.E.R magazine.
Yes, indeed. I keep going.
And tonight is going to be an incredible event. Now let's talk a little bit about P.O.W.E.R magazine. First of all, what does the word power mean to you?
The word power to me means helping people, mentoring, influencing people in a positive manner, having integrity and being honest. I think some people look at the word power and relate it just to money. It's not all about money. It's about helping others, having integrity, setting goals, and doing the right thing.
Now, you have empowered so many people. My question for you tonight is, who has empowered you?
Gail, you empower me. You know what? It's true, you do. Every woman that I'm honoring tonight actually inspires me and empowers me. I have to tell you, though, I do love Susan Lucci. She's always been somebody that empowered me. I watched her on daytime soaps, and unfortunately, she can't be here tonight. She's in Italy, but she's empowered me, I have to say. My mother empowers me. Really, women in general, and men. I mean, we can't just talk about women, but tonight's about women. But there's a lot of men that empower me as well.
What can we look forward to tonight? What's going to happen?
Well, we're going to give out 15 awards to women in different industries. And we're also doing a silent auction to benefit Mondays at Racine Cancer Care Foundation. We have a lot of vendors here tonight, raffles. We have people flying in tonight from Texas, Tennessee, California, Iowa. People here from Jersey, Pennsylvania, Long Island. So people are coming from far away to be here to get their award.
I have to ask you one last question. You have done so much in your short lifetime thus far, but what do you think will be your legacy?
My legacy, I have two passions. My one passion is empowering women, and my other passion is helping people find love. I wrote a book called Single and Not Settling, A Journey of Surviving the Dating World. So I want my legacy to be that I've helped people and inspired them.
Thank you. That's Tonya DiCosimo. I'm with the beautiful Marcy Manfredonia Siciliano. And if you think that wasn't a mouthful, it was. Hi there.
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. Now, you're receiving the Entrepreneur Award. What does that mean to you?
It is amazing. Like, from where I came from, I would never think I'd be here today to be able to accept it. It is a beautiful, beautiful honor.
Well, let's go back, Marcy, because you said something, and I know that your dad died when you were very young. He had cancer, and we know that tonight's gala is going to benefit a cancer organization called Recipients. So first of all, I want to ask your opinion and thoughts about that. How do you feel about that?
I feel really good about that. Donating and giving back is very important to me. My mom died from cancer also, and so did my dad. So basically, I've been out since I'm 13 years old. So to give back to help find a cure is really important to me.
Now, you were in a male-dominated field.
Yes.
Right? Nationwide.
Maintenance and
Maintenance.
contracting. We do construction and repair work. And basically, I started when, men didn't believe women belong in this field. And it was a very long road, but it was well worth it.
Well, let me ask you, how did you get started, and what suggestions would you have for other women who'd like to go into a field that's different, that women usually go into?
I started actually when I had 4 children, and I knew that I didn't want anybody to control my destiny, and I didn't want to work a 9-to-5 job. So really dug down deep in thinking of what I can do, and I knew that I knew maintenance a little bit, so I actually went to a few friends, borrowed a few bucks, and actually made my own destiny for me and my children. And, it's step by step and little by little, and you'll get there with faith of God.
How did you know maintenance? I have to tell you, just hanging a picture for me is major.
Well, I guess my dad, I was a tomboy, so I used to work with him and watch things that he did. So at the age of 13, before he passed away, I was one of those little tomboys with a baseball cap and followed my father around everywhere.
And look at you now. And also a feminine side with the candles. Talk a little bit about that, please.
So I wanted to do something else, and I was doing the Gala for American Cancer Society, and my son was messing around making candles, and I thought, wow, that's a great idea. Let's make this centerpieces for the Gala. And it just turned out such a rapport of people loving it, and that's how Custom Candle came.
This is amazing. I want to thank you so much, thank you that you brought a gift tonight for the silent auction. You look absolutely stunning, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I appreciate this. Thank you.
I'm here with the stunning and erudite Regina Calcaterra. I love this lady. I haven't seen her in a few years. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Oh.
And so is my book, and with I've been traveling a lot on it. It came out Etch and Sand, which is my memoir growing up on Long Island, in and out of foster homes and homeless shelters with my siblings. Came out about 6 years ago, and since then has become a New York Times bestseller and a #1 international bestseller, and has actually been incorporated into high school and college curriculum nationwide because of all the different messages that are in the book about children and resilience and perseverance.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Regina, and it's something that has so disturbed me. But when children age out, what can we do to help them from foster care?
Well, every child needs an adult connection. There are over 400,000 children in the foster care system every single year, and at least 21,000 of them age out at ages 18 or 21. And what that means is that when their foster parents don't get paid money for them anymore, many parents don't keep them in the home. There are some that do, but some that don't. So then they're basically on their own, and unfortunately, a lot of them end up homeless or incarcerated without an adult connection. And in fact, half of the homeless population in the U.S. are former foster kids, and a third of the incarcerated are former foster kids, because we put our youth out on the street with very little resources out there, and they have to make poor choices in order to survive. But if they aged out with an adult connection, whether it was a parent or someone that they know that's an adult that makes a commitment to them to be a forever parent, or to just be their adult connection that they could always go to and have a safety net, that makes a huge difference in the life of a youth aging out of foster care.
I also know that you had worked on a book with Rosie. Rosie's your youngest sister. Tell us a little bit about that, what's going on with that.
Girl Unbroken came out about 2 years ago, and that was also published by HarperCollins. And I wrote that with my sister Rosie Maloney. And the reason why there was such an interest in writing her story is because in my book, I share with the readers that I was separated and put into a different foster home than my younger siblings who I was raising. And my mother went to that foster home and kidnapped them and brought them all the way to Idaho. So everyone wanted to know what happened to Rosie. So that prompted us writing her story as well, which for me was the greatest gift, to give her the ability to share her story and to remind her every day how resilient she truly is. So she embraced becoming an author, and she has embraced for the past few years sharing her messages of resilience and tenacity and overcoming, various types of abuse as well with others.
You can see why Regina Calcaterra won the Advocate Award. You're also an attorney, and you have done so much good for Long Island. I'm thinking of Superstorm Sandy and all the other things that you've done. Now, many times we are empowered by the people that we work for, that we write about. How has your book empowered you?
It's empowered me and given me a platform to actually advocate for foster children. Where before I actually wrote the book, I didn't have a platform to do that. Now it gives me an opportunity to travel nationally and write and share my story and the stories of other foster youth nationally. And as a result of that platform to advocate for foster children, I'm constantly getting emails and photographs of adults who have went out and adopted older foster children, have adopted sibling groups, and people who are stepping up and volunteering to be mentors or be the voice of foster children. So by sharing my story, it's actually empowered me to be an advocate for foster children, which is something that I've always wanted to be.
I'd like to close by asking you, what have you learned about yourself through all of this?
How lucky I am, and how blessed I am to have had the opportunity to survive my childhood and be able to share it with others in a way that is motivating and inspiring.
And I have to say, on that note, I want to thank you, because we also are blessed by you and all that you do. Thank you, Regina.
And thank you, Gail.
Hi, I'm with Esther Fortunoff, and Esther is the president and owner of the fine jewelry from Fortunoff. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
You know what? I'm doing great. You hear the name Fortunoff, and of course that connotes so much success, so many wonderful products. And when I told my mom I'm going to be interviewing you, she said, I love the jewelry from there.
Our jewelry is wonderful, and in my new store I have the same quality, a lot of the same classic items, although a lot of new trendy items as well. But I'm sure that anyone in your family would find something great.
I'm sure of that. Now, in 2010, you were online, and then 2014. Tell us a little bit about that transition.
Right, so after the store had been closed, we reopened just online, did that for a while, and our customers just said, we really want to try on the jewelry. It's much easier to know how an earring looks when it's on. And so I decided to find the right place to reopen, and it was in Westbury, where we began in Westbury in 1964.
And I so agree with you. You know, to actually look at it, have somebody speaking with you, that's the touch. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're so successful. Now, I know it's third generation, and I have to say, we all know of all the advantages working with family. But I'm going to ask you, is it ever difficult working with family? And if it is, what advice would you give somebody who's also attempting to go into a field with their family?
It's definitely fun, but it's often difficult to work with family members. I would say it's great if you have enough different types of responsibilities so that everyone can have their own area and have a little bit of control over something instead of everyone sort of, having an opinion about the same thing. It's great if there can be, true roles assigned.
This from a woman who was Retailer of the Year and Retailer in the Hall of Fame. Esther Fortunoff, I want to thank you so much and congratulations on your award.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
I'm here with Dr. Doris Dalton from Dalton Beauty. What an honor.
Thank you. It's my honor. Thank you so much for having me.
She's gorgeous. I'm looking at her
very
skin.
kind.
I'm looking at her skin.
Good makeup. That's
It is.
Exactly what it is.
No. And you were a Mrs. America in 1992.
That's correct. You're doing your homework, Gail.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
All right.
I love the fact that you combined medical background, I know you're a chiropractor, with beauty, but
right.
there's also an underlying story. Sometimes we say, the necessity, right? We have to do
Yes.
things because.
Lemons and lemonade, right?
Go for it.
Out of the what is it? What is that saying? What is that adage?
Oh,
Out
my
of something necessity comes.
I forgot too.
I forget, Gail.
It
but that's
doesn't
all
matter
right.
because we're going to explain it
That's
right
right.
now.
Yeah.
It's a mother of invention.
That's right. That's right. Necessity is the mother of invention. So yes, I'm a cancer survivor. So I'm so honored, really, to be here at this event. About 10 years ago, I suffered from a very rare form of cancer, and I lost all my eyebrows, and my skin was ravished. So quite honestly, and I was someone like you. I was in the cameras, and I was in front of the public eye, and I didn't recognize myself. I was like, who is that girl? So I just started creating products because I was actually helping to formulate products for some of the biggest companies in the world, and I just started creating products really for myself. It was really never my intent or actually even my desire to have a makeup brand. And people just said, like you have beautiful skin. And I really don't. I have very ravished skin. I have very red skin, very irritated.
I don't see it.
You don't see it. That's right. Because I don't want you to see it. They're those pesky things that I wanted to create solutions for. And that was 10 years ago. So now it's so well received, and it's helping women in so many different ways, whether there's someone that's a cancer survivor like myself, or someone that just, wants to feel better. And I never met a woman in my life that didn't want to feel pretty, right?
Absolutely.
I think every woman wants to feel pretty.
Now you've been on QVC.
That's right.
Well, let me ask you this. There are people out there, there are women entrepreneurs, and you're being celebrated tonight, the P.O.W.E.R Beauty Award. So how can they get started? They have a product, and they want to get it on QVC. Now's the time to ask.
Now's the time to ask. Okay. I say there's a lot of different ways to get started, but first of all, to get really to the grassroots of it, I think the most important thing that you have to have is passion, because no one can give you that but yourself, right? So if you have a passion for something, then it kind of all falls into place. And secondly, I would say courage, because a lot of times it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and hear no, or to hear, well, you're not original, right? So passion and courage are two of the very important things, I think, and that will take you really far, whether it's on QVC or wherever it is, that maybe it's a salon or a boutique or a service or whatever it is that you're looking to do. And then I always say my third thing, and I just no does not, it's not my vocabulary. I will not take no for an answer.
I love that.
I just won't. It just doesn't exist in my vocabulary.
I have found very successful women always are kind and caring about others. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention your love of animals and how you help them.
Yeah. Every time I talk, it brings tears to my eyes when I talk about it. But we started Dolls for Paws, and we feature homeless animals on all of our social sites. And we had the largest adoption event ever in the Women's Humane Society's events. So it's been something that's near and dear to my heart. I grew up on a farm, so animals really aren't, I don't know, they're just so near and dear to my heart, and they don't have a voice. And I figure I have a pretty big voice, So I wanted to make sure that they're heard, and that they get the home and they get the love that they deserve.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Gail.
Dr. Doris Dalton.
Thank
The Travel and Tourism Award goes to Joanne Caputo Trippi. Hi.
Hi, thank you, Gail.
Oh, it's so nice to finally meet you. And I see the word and the name Caputo.
That's my cousin, Larry.
I interviewed Larry a couple of years ago, and tonight we're honoring Recipients, a cancer care foundation. And he was just so wonderful and open and talking about his mom.
Yes, my Aunt Connie.
So there isn't anybody who hasn't been affected knowing someone involved having had cancer, correct?
Correct.
So what does this mean to you tonight?
Just honoring everybody that's been survivors, and we're all here to pray for them and help them.
Now I want to talk a little bit about you because you received awards as well. Delta Airlines, tell us about that.
I was the #1 producer for 2018 in my company.
It's fabulous. Over 30 years.
Vacation, yes.
Pro travel, right? We want to get that out there.
Travel International. We have 23 locations in the U.S. and Europe, and I work in the Westbury office, which is brand new, and I work with a lot of great people.
What made you get started? Was it the whole idea of travel?
I've been doing it my whole life. I just enjoy traveling, and I like making people happy, and I just love it.
There are quite a few people who are involved in it now.
Yeah.
Why are you successful? What were the elements that caused you to become that successful? And she is.
And one of the things is that the company I'm with is very large, and we have so many cruise companies and hoteliers that come to us every week. They want our business. They give us above and beyond to give our agents. We're part of Virtuoso, which means we get our clients upgrades and breakfasts and all.
So all kinds
you
of.
can't get, yes.
So you go above and beyond. And that seems to be the secret of so many of our honorees tonight. One last question. Tell me, please, about river cruising.
River cruising is off the charts right now. It is the ships, they are building them more beautiful and more spacious than the other. It's nice and small, which I like. You're going down the locks, and yeah, it's great.
Thank you so much, Joanne. It was a pleasure. Congratulations on your award. And I'll see you inside.
Okay.
It's always a party when you're with Racines. I love these ladies, but I'd like them to tell you a little bit about the background. We know they're the honorees for tonight, and we know some of the great things they do, but let's talk a little bit first about your inspiration, how it got started. Carla?
Basically, we started this foundation in homage to our mother, who went through a difficult battle in the 80s, and she lost that battle. And a few years later, we found ourselves with a salon, and we were able to open up our doors one day a month to help our community folks. And that grew and grew and grew. And right now, we have 16 salons across Long Island doing this program.
I have to ask you, the 16 salons, are you doing 16 different things?
So 16, it's just not, when you start off something, you don't know how it's going to develop. And what turned into be salon and spa services is now 16 salons, spas, yoga studios, wellness centers, inclusive of acupuncture, Reiki, amazing services encompassing all wellness to balance the ravages of chemotherapy and radiation. These 16 facilities have taken on our program from our, being tutored by us and educated by us, and now we're growing and growing and growing, Gail. This is really our mission now, is just spread this out so more people are being serviced.
Now, which sister are we missing? We're
missing Cynthia Sansone, and we're missing Rosemary Berger, who is our medical esthetician and educator for the entire program.
And I practice saying Rachel Di Malfetto. You have no idea, because I practiced it. Now,
thank you, Gail.
Please, but I want to get back to this because you have the beauty ball. It's a tremendous honor to be invited to it, to interview at it, and to just attend it. So tell a little bit about that.
Well, we're always happy to have you and Shelley at the Long Island Beauty Ball. This year it's on October 28th at the Crest Hollow, and it's our 5th anniversary. So this year is going to be amazing. So please get your tickets, Mondays at racine.org.
Some 8,000 women and men have been helped. I think it's even more than that now.
We're probably hovering in the 9,000 patients that we have taken care of. And I'm honestly, I was thinking about when I'm speaking up tonight, and I'll just give you a sneak peek, is that I feel very strongly, especially of late, that we are taking this honor and it's fitting because it's called the P.O.W.E.R Awards, to give the power back to these people that we've serviced. But we are receiving this honor for all of the patients that lost their battle. Sometimes, there's no accidents. We become very intimate and close to a lot of these patients. So it is almost like we're losing family members. But on the flip side of that, not to be so bleak, there's so many people that graduate from our program. We ring bells when they graduate.
I saw that the other day on Facebook.
And they go on, and we know that we've touched their lives in such a way that helped them really humanize what they went through.
So the nonprofit started
in 2003.
I was going to help you there, Carl.
Thanks, Gail. 2003, the charity began, and in 2013, we became a formal 501c3.
So tonight, as a nonprofit award, congratulations, and also selected for the silent auction. I can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm super excited and so grateful to Tonya and to everybody.
Right, definitely. And is George Clooney being auctioned off? I didn't hear that.
I hope so.
Okay, sorry, Shelley.
Oh, Shelley. Oh, well, that's almost as good, right?
Yeah.
I'm in big trouble.
Gail, hands off. But I want to thank you, Gail, because you're always so supportive
Thank
of
you.
everything you do.
We love you.
We love you too. Thank you so much.
And mwah, I got both of our. I'm here with Dr. Allison Myers from North Shore University Hospital. Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited about tonight. You're getting the top medical doctor award.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That is just amazing. Now tell me, you're a medical director, and from what I remember, had to do with diabetes and inpatients. Mm-hmm. Is that correct? Tell me that.
So I'm the medical director for inpatient diabetes at North Shore University Hospital. It's a quaternary care hospital located in Manhasset here in Long Island. And we know that about 30% of patients hospitalized at a given time have diabetes, and making sure that their blood sugars are well controlled is of the utmost importance. Mm-hmm. So they need me as the medical director of inpatient diabetes to oversee the quality initiatives to make sure that we're providing the best of diabetes care to our patients while they're in the hospital.
What 3 things should somebody look for if they suspect that they do have diabetes?
Well, that's a good question, because the problem with diabetes is that most people won't develop the signs or symptoms of diabetes for a good 5 to 7 years. So honestly, the best thing to do is just to get screened, especially if you're high risk. That would be if you're of certain ethnicities, African American, Latino, Asian, Native American, if you're overweight, if you're a woman who had diabetes in pregnancy, which we call gestational diabetes. Those are some of the risk factors that you would look for. So unfortunately, until years have gone by, most people won't have the symptoms of it, but some of the signs and symptoms can be excessive fatigue, excessive thirst, having to urinate frequently, numbness or tingling in the hands or feet.
Well, you got a whole group there. So if you are worried about that, it's better to take the test and find out, correct?
Right, absolutely.
Now, you received the Michael Kors Award. That was amazing. Tell a little bit about that, because I think that's quite an honor in addition to your award tonight.
Right. So one of my other hats is I'm also a researcher. So I'm affiliated with the Feinstein Institute, which is also a part of Northwell Health. And I received that award last year. So it was able to support me to be able to go to the Academy Health Conference so I could learn more about research.
And do you study depression at all? Did I read that?
So my initial training and residency, I did a combined training in internal medicine and psychiatry. So in the past, I have done some research looking at the connection between depression and diabetes.
There's some women questions.
Okay.
How do women empower other women?
I think one of the things that is the most empowering is to give back. I was talking to one of the doctors here today, and I told her that I love meeting the older doctors because they were such trailblazers. I mean, nowadays, 50% of medical schools are women, but I know when I was in med school and some of the other ladies who came way before me, it was much less. So I think it's talking to other women who are going through similar things and continuing to encourage so that the next generation will feel just empowered.
That's excellent. I want to thank you so much, and congratulations on your award. And what's next for you?
Well, I just got a promotion to associate professor, so that was a pretty big deal.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Myers.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Good night.
All right, just take one look at her. It's Erin O'Prior. And we know many of her celebrity trainer to the stars, but this amazing woman has an incredible background. I'm very impressed.
Well, thank you.
let me share a little bit why, and then we can talk about it. You were one of the first females to go into combat. You did 2 tours in Iraq. God bless you for that.
Thank you, thank you. So I was one of the first females to lead an all-female platoon in a war zone, which is pretty cool. It's changed the precedence for women, which is amazing.
And thank you for the service that you have done. All right, let's talk about this. You are a single parent. You cleaned houses. You did a lot of work to get to where you are. But you ended up now training so many different people, including Carrie Underwood, Kelsey Ballerina, right?
Yes.
And I know you're not impressed because they are celebrities, they're like everybody else, but truly that is incredible to go from that position, single mom, cleaning houses, to suddenly finding yourself. How did that happen? As a woman, what advice would you give?
You know what? I feel like it's 100% hard work, persistence, and never giving up. I mean, it's like this. It's a roller coaster ride. There's highs, there's lows, and on the lows, to stay committed to what you really want in life and to follow your passion, don't follow money. That is 100%
I love that.
true. If you follow your passion, it will show. If you follow money, people will know.
And of course you have that, what'd you say, brochure, 4x4x4? Let's talk a little bit about that.
I mean, my book, The 4x4 Diet, is truly how I live my life every day. It's how I teach my clients to do the same thing. It's a lifestyle. It's simple. It's easy to follow. It's something everybody can do. I mean, it's just about learning how to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle forever, not a quick fix, slow and steady. I always say the weight didn't come on overnight, it shouldn't come off overnight.
But let's mention what the 4x4x4 would be.
So the 4x4 diet is 4 simple rules of nutrition and 4-minute workouts, which are Tabatas. They're all my favorite style
And
of
in 4
training.
weeks you'll look like this.
Yeah, 4 weeks, that's it. But no, Tabata workouts are the best. I love to turn fitness into a game and having fun, and that's what the book is all about.
And you're receiving the award, for health. And I think that is what it's about, to have good health and fitness.
Absolutely. It's not about looks. I always say what's on the inside really matters. How you feel is the key. I mean, being skinny, if you're skinny and don't feel good, that doesn't matter. It's all about how you feel.
Absolutely. Does everyone do the same thing? Now, I'm a little bit underweight, but quite honestly, does everybody do the same thing? They meet you and they do...
That's pretty funny, but yes, if people are like, don't look, I'm really not eating that. I'm like, look, I'm not judging. I mean, I have bad meals too, donuts.
I was going to entice you with a donut.
I love donuts, but I do try to limit it to not very often. We try to save it as a travel food.
And how do you see women empowering other women?
Sorry, we said.
How do you see other women empowering other women?
Oh my gosh, it's so great to see a community of women trying to build each other up, because I feel like a huge problem is women love to put other women down. I feel like if we were all each other's cheerleader, this world would be a better place.
Oh, I love that.
No sense in competing. There's so much room for all of us.
There's so much for everybody, and we keep saying
absolutely,
that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is terrific. Erin, I think you're going to become one of my favorite people.
Oh, you're sweet.
Oh, thank you. But anyway, pleasure meeting you. I look forward to seeing you, and I'll bet you she's going to bust a move on that dance floor.
Well, of course. We're going to have some fun tonight, right?
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
This prominent doctor is Dr. Leona Ayers, and you're receiving the Medical and Scientific Research Award.
Correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And very impressive background. I know you've done a lot of work, cancer, HIV, and you've gone into other countries for this.
I was very fortunate to be able to have national cancer funding to have a program in sub-Saharan Africa. We had the Sub-Saharan Africa Lymphoma Consortium, and I had projects in East Africa and Kenya and Uganda, South Africa, both East and West, and in Nigeria.
You have made some 250 speeches. Would you please share, 45 seconds or less, the gist of one of your speeches, where we're going?
Well, this is science is always interesting, and this is an interesting time in science and cancer. There's the proliferation of the opportunity, anyway, of new treatments that specifically target cancer, and that's part of our research, is looking for what are called biomarkers. And this defines a protein to which an antibody can be made, And it has resulted in the extension of life in patients who have very serious cancers. So this is a very optimistic period of time.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Opportunity.
Absolutely. I understand from a quote that you once said, people are so very interesting. What's interesting about you that we don't know?
You know nothing about me. I don't know how interesting people find me. Some of my employees find me more formidable than interesting sometimes.
And how do you feel about that?
I like that.
You like that. But you did make the quote, people are always very interested.
Of any subject matter that maintains its interest over time better than people. People are forever interesting. Did you know that each person is a one of a kind? That
Yes.
there is no other thing on earth that is the same as that person. So
And
each
isn't it-
person is an individual.
And isn't it amazing how we have certain genes and nobody looks exactly the same?
Well, of course they don't, because nobody is the same. Well, except for identical twins.
Twins. I was just
that,
going.
that come about as close, but
What fun.
even they downstream have some differences.
They have some differences. Now you've written some 14 chapters in books. Go ahead.
Oh yes, I have. One of the nice things about having large programs and having collaborators for those programs is to watch your collaborators do well. So some of my collaborators have written things with me, book chapters, papers, and whatever. And I've had the pleasure of watching some of those individuals go on to do very well in their field. For instance, one of my collaborators recently became the chair of the Department of Pathology in the South African National Health organization in Johannesburg at the Witwatersrand. And that's the first time a woman has occupied a position of that elevation.
Amazing.
So I'm very pleased for Dr. Byrne and Dr. Yvonne Perna, who's done very well. And one of my other colleagues, women, I'm just talking about women. Now, men
Well,
have done
this is what we're doing tonight in the P.O.W.E.R, right? The Gala, we're honoring the women.
The other woman who's done very well, who's recently become also a chair of a department, is Dr. Lynette Kanakunda, and she was actually chair in Makerere University in Kampala, Uganda, and she has now become chair of a larger department.
So we've seen so many changes from the time probably that you started medical school. We know, of course, you're also a professor and a pathologist, but what changes do we still have to see?
Oh, there's forever a frontier.
Give us a couple.
They're forever unknowns. Well, for instance, I just published a paper in October of last year demonstrating that mast cells, long-lived cells in humans, are very important in the formation of the Kaposi sarcoma lesion. And this opened the door to treat that particular lesion with very benign drugs.
Really?
Such
That's
as
a major advancement.
vitamin C and antihistamines. So that's sort of a remarkable breakthrough.
Amazing.
To the sense you wouldn't think that something like that would just now being discovered. And I'm now working on the prospect that Kaposi sarcoma rises in the bone marrow, is distributed to the periphery, and these mast cells are able to make like an incubator for them to start their growth in the skin and other.
Fascinating. It is fascinating. Thank you so much. A final word? I think you were going to say something?
Well, the wonderful thing about science is there's always more to come.
Exactly. And I think that you're going to help us in that field. Thank you, Dr. Ayers. It's
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. I'm here with the beautiful Leslie O'Hare Media, who's incredible. Now, you do so many things, from off-Broadway, producer, director, you have a magazine, you've written a book, you talk about faith, transformation, but what have I left out?
I don't think I get any sleep, actually. Yes, I'm also a TEDx speaker, and one of my biggest things to talk about as a TEDx speaker and public speaker, I believe in encouraging women to live life. I actually just launched and released my brand new book, 30 Days of Living Life, Spirit and Soul Journal for Women, and really getting women to understand that no matter what we go through in life, it's really about waking up every single day and being the best version of yourself.
So we can change our destiny if something has happened to us, and I know in your past there were some dilemmas.
Yes.
We can overcome them, take charge, and change the direction of our life, yes?
Yes, we can. And it really starts with our mind. It's how we think about ourselves first. And for me, it's my faith. And really believing in being everything that God created me to be. And if I can allow that the information that I've learned and the experiences that I've gone through to empower other women to see the same thing, I think the sky's the limit and we can be just anything we want to be as strong women.
How did you get to that path? Because there's going to be somebody watching this who's going to say, that's great, but she doesn't know what I'm going through.
You know, at a very young age, at 14 years of age, I was sharing this with Tanya, even in an article that she did with me in P.O.W.E.R magazine. I met my dad for the first time. I asked, could I keep in contact with him? And he said no. So at 14, meeting my dad for the first time, telling me that his 3 sons that he had with his previous wife is more important to him than me, that was the first experience of rejection, and then going through divorce at almost 50 years of age just recently. So going through that and so many other hurtful things in my life and trials and tribulations, it made me stronger. It built my faith in God. It allowed me to know to take those experiences, utilize it as hurdles to jump over to my destiny.
And you know what's amazing? Once you overcome the first obstacle, you get some confidence.
Yes.
Then you go to the second one.
Yes.
And I think we're given these obstacles, I could be wrong, but for a reason.
We are.
I do believe that. And to share with others, as tonight you're receiving an award.
I am.
And you're
so
sharing
excited.
so much
Yes.
of your life with other people and affecting them. And I have to say that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much. It's so exciting. I'm really thankful to Tanya to honor me with this award this evening and to be able to utilize my life story and experiences. And you're absolutely right. I think that every trial and tribulation that we go through is not for ourselves. It's really so that we can look back, reach down, and help another woman to say, you know what? I know what you're going through. My story may be different, but we all have a story. But you know what? I've gone through something. I can help you get through yours if you just hang on to my hand, let me lift you up, and let's stand stronger together. Because divided, we fall apart. But together, we're united, we stand stronger, and we persevere.
Right. Yeah. And I think we have to stop saying, why me? Say, why not me?
Why not me?
And why can't I help others?
Yes, and I've been there before.
I think we agree.
Yes. Absolutely.
What a pleasure.
Thank you. It's a nice meeting you as well.
Terrific.
Thank you so much.
This lovely lady next to me is Elizabeth Sutton, who is an artist from Manhattan. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. What an honor it is to be here.
Oh, this is a pleasure. What a great event. And of course, you get Uprising Star.
Well, today's actually an amazing day. I have officially received 2 major awards today. I, on my way here, got an announcement that my tile received Best in Show at the HG Expo on top of this Rising Star honor tonight. So I'm very happy.
Oh, Elizabeth, congratulations. You're having quite a year. Now, I think I remember you from Bravo TV.
I was on Million Dollar Listing.
$1 Million, yeah, it's a Bravo show.
A few times I was working with Ryan Serhant for $1 Million Listing, which is one of the things that made me say, okay, I'm going to proceed with my art.
Really?
But I have worked with a number of celebrities, but I work with private clients, I paint, I have prints, I do clutches, I work with all types of people equally important to me.
How did you get involved in art? And I know you probably were so artistic as a child, but how did you get into it? Who inspired you?
I was not artistic as a child.
No.
Self-taught, actually. I picked up a paintbrush 3.5 years ago for the first time ever. I went through a number of shifts and transitions in my life, including a number of losses, and I needed to start working. And I thought I was going to become a chef. My creative outlet back then
You're so creative, though, anyway. That's the creative side of the brain.
Yes, I have a number of creative outlets, but it used to be cooking and tablescaping. And by the fate of the stars, I don't even know how I became an artist, but thank God, because it saved my life. I love my art. It's my happy place.
Well, and the reason I mention the show is because I am a fan of that show. I had seen your work, and I love the fact that they're uplifting. And some of your works, now you've done Marilyn Monroe, you have done exotic animals. I love that. So it's not just there, it's something that makes you appreciate it, feel good. And I think that may be why that helps sell those houses.
Well, I like to describe my art as happy art. My art is all about energy. You know, my career started, honestly, from a really sad and bad place. And so my goal in life with my art is to actually inspire positivity and perspective and, you know, to teach people that you can go through very hard times, but you need to build resilience and learn coping mechanisms and, you know, kind of rainbow at the end of the storm. You know, like my tagline in my work is, life is not always rainbows and butterflies, but my art is. So I like my art to bring good vibes into the home, beauty, energy, and, you know, positivity. You can get through any storm. Honestly, the world kind of saw my life crumble on social media. I'm not going to get into how, but I lost a very dear friend and assistant in a tragic car accident on my birthday a little over a year ago. And instead of, you know, breaking down, I tried to channel all that negativity into getting stronger.
You'd be amazed out of adversity how many wonderful things come about and how inspired other people can become based on what people go through when they do encounter adversity and how we grow from it. And then to take that and expand it into your passion, your art, is amazing. I want to congratulate you for the award tonight.
Thank
and I'm
you.
so
Thank
glad you
you.
made it.
I'm glad to be here. I need a cocktail. Are you having one with me? I need a couple, maybe.
Of course.
A couple. Thank you, Danielle.
Oh, terrific. I'm here with Linda Ferraldo. Linda, it is a pleasure to see you tonight, and I'm excited for you because you're receiving the award for
real estate agent.
Oh, that is great. You know,
Cut that.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what they're giving me the award for, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
But I am
Real estate, realtor award. So it is real estate. And if you say real estate, it's fine instead of realtor?
I'm a realtor.
Honey. No.
Okay.
Stop.
I
She
just
can do
wanted
it.
you to say-
I know. It's okay. Do it one more time. No, we got it. I got it.
We got it. We're good.
No. Okay. I'm here with Linda Ferraldo, who's receiving the Realtor Award tonight from P.O.W.E.R magazine. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This got to be an honor for you with all people who are involved in that, and you got the award.
It is an honor, and I appreciate it very much.
I'm so excited for you and can't wait to see you up there getting it. But tell me, how did you get started in that field?
Actually, I was in between careers, and being that I was always in retail and management and loved working with people, and I grew up on the North Shore, and I love living here, I love homes, I love everything about real estate, I decided to give real estate a try. And it just was the perfect match for me. It was like I found my calling, and I've been a top producer ever since.
That's beautiful, and I'm hearing tonight all of the women who are so successful like yourself have this passion for their career. I want to thank you so much, and I'm going to see you inside.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Linda.